You're watching Relevant Radar TV, and today we're turning back the clock but not too far because what we have in the spotlight is a blast from the past reborn for the modern rider. Say hello to the all-new 2026 Suzuki GT550 Neo Classic. This bike isn't just a name revival. It's a full-fledged reinterpretation of a legend, reimagined for riders who want the soul of yesterday with the tech and performance of today. A retro-inspired roadster with a modern punch, the GT550 Neo Classic is Suzuki's answer to a growing global demand for bikes that blend timeless aesthetics with everyday practicality. And after spending some serious saddle time on it, we're here to tell you exactly what makes this machine tick. Let's kick things off with the design, because it's impossible to talk about the GT550 Neo without addressing its styling. One look and it's obvious what Suzuki was going for. This is a respectful nod to the original GT lineup from the 1970s, but it's not a copy-paste job. The 2026 GT550 Neo Classic carries the visual DNA of the old-school triple, but infuses it with crisp, purposeful modernity. You've got that iconic teardrop tank and now sculpted from aluminum, with subtle knee cutouts and a satin polish that practically glows in daylight. The round LED headlight is housed in a retro-style metal shell, flanked by amber LED turn signals that blend nostalgia with legality. Chrome accents are used tastefully on the dual exhausts, mirrors, and side cover, so while the engine cases get a brushed finish instead of the usual matte or blacked out treatment. The seat is a ribbed, bench-style unit with modern ergonomics hidden underneath. And the tail section is a mix of flat track inspiration and cafe tilde copyright flair, with a simple, symmetrical tail light and small but functional grab rail. It's old school cool, but make no mistake, this is a thoroughly modern machine when you get up close. And that brings us to what's powering this retro beast. The heart of the GT550 Neo Classic is a brand new 549cc parallel twin engine, developed specifically for this model. While Suzuki could have easily recycled an engine from their SV or V-Strom lineup, they didn't. This power plant is a liquid-cooled, Dock, 8-valve twin with a 270-degree crankshaft, tuned to deliver both character and usability. It produces around 52 horsepower at 8,500 RPM and 47 Nm of torque at 6,500 rpm. Not crazy numbers, but more than enough for spirited riding, city commuting, or weekend backroad blitzes. What's more impressive than the peak figures is how the power is delivered. The torque curve is broad and flat, which means you're never hunting for power. It pulls cleanly from as low as 2,500 RPM. And there's a pleasing growl as the revs climb. The 270-degree firing order gives it a loping, V-twin-esque character without the added bulk or vibration. Paired to a slick 6-speed gearbox and a slip-and-assist clutch, the GT550 Neo delivers smooth, confident acceleration without drama. You can short shift and cruise, or ring it out for a more involved experience. Either way, it's engaging, accessible, and refreshingly analog in feel. Handling-wise, the GT550 Neo surprises you. With a steel tubular frame, a 55.5-inch wheelbase, and a curb weight of about 185 kilograms, 408 pounds, this bike feels tight and responsive without being twitchy. Suzuki's kept the geometry neutrally ideal for riders of all levels. The front suspension is a 41mm Kib conventional fork, non-adjustable, but tuned for comfort and control. The rear features twin Kib shocks with adjustable preload. Together, they soak up potholes and ripples with ease while keeping the bike planted during quick corner transitions. This isn't a track scalpel, but it's more agile than its vintage looks suggest. Braking is handled by dual 290mm discs up front with 2-piston axial calipers, and a single 240mm disc at the rear. It's not Brembo-level stopping power, but the feedback is solid and progressive. ABS comes standard, and the system is non-intrusive, ideal for casual and spirited riders alike. What really enhances the experience is the feel of everything from the lever action to the throttle responses tuned for real-world riding, where predictability and feedback are far more valuable than sheer aggression. Let's move into the tech, because while the GT550 Neo Classic plays the retro card hard, it's not ignoring the future. Front and center is a beautiful twin-dial analog cluster with a modern twist. The left dial houses a large analog tach, and the right contains a speedometer with a hidden LCD panel that reveals gear position, fuel level, trip data, and even a clock. It's clean, functional, and doesn't ruin the vintage vibe. There's no massive TFT here, and that's a deliberate choice. This is a bike for people who prefer seat-of-the-pants riding over screen-scrolling menus. But don't be fooled, and underneath that analog charm is a modern suite of electronics. You get standard ride-by-wire throttle, 2 selectable riding modes, road and rain, basic traction control, and low RPM assist to make takeoff smoother, especially for newer riders. Suzuki's Easy Start system makes starting a breeze. One tap of the starter button and the bike fires up automatically without having to hold it down. Cruise control, optional, but available. And the USB-C charging port tucked under the seat shows Suzuki understands what riders actually need out on the road. Ergonomically, the GT550 Neo Classic is a sweet spot. The handlebars are slightly raised and swept back for a natural reach. The foot pegs are mid-mounted, giving you a relaxed, upright position that doesn't feel cramped or overly stretched, even for taller riders. The seat height sits at 795 mm, 31.3 inches, making it approachable for most, and the slim tank and lightweight mean you always feel in control even when duck walking through traffic or navigating tight urban corners. Now let's talk about practicality. With a 15-liter fuel tank and average fuel economy of around 28 to 30 km/L, you're looking at a realistic range of over 400 km on a single fill. Maintenance is straightforward, with easily accessible oil filters, chain adjusters, and basic electronics. This is a bike you can live with. It's also designed for customization, as Suzuki's already announced a full line of factory accessories including bar end mirrors, copyright style tail kits, fly screens, saddlebags, and even a scrambler conversion kit with high-mount exhaust and knobby tires. That means the GT550 Neo Classic isn't just a motorcycle, it's a canvas. So, how much will all this nostalgia-infused functionality cost you? The 2026 Suzuki GT550 Neo Classic comes in with a base price of $7,999. That puts it right in line with competitors like the Yamaha XSR700 and the Royal Enfield Interceptor 650. But what you're getting here is something a bit more unique, a middleweight retro that isn't just a cosmetic exercise. It's a purpose-built platform with Suzuki engineering behind it, balancing heritage and modernity in a way few others have nailed. The GT550 Neo Classic isn't the fastest, flashiest, or most high-tech bike in the garage, but that's exactly the point. It's honest, it's mechanical, it connects you to the road without filtering out the sensation. And in a time when bikes are becoming more like smartphones on wheels, this Suzuki stands out by doing something rare. It focuses on the ride. So who's this bike for? It's for the rider who doesn't need to chase lap times but still wants their machine to feel alive. It's for commuters who want a motorcycle that turns heads at the copyright and slides through traffic with ease. It's for the weekend adventurer who values comfort and soul as much as specs and sensors. And most importantly, it's for anyone who wants to enjoy riding again, a pure, simple, and full of character. To wrap things up, the 2026 Suzuki GT550 Neo Classic is a welcome reminder that motorcycles don't need to be radical to be exciting. With timeless styling, approachable performance, and just enough modern tech to make life easier, it strikes a balance that few manufacturers are even attempting anymore. Whether you're coming off your first 300cc bike, upgrading from a vintage project, or just looking to fall back in love with the road, the GT550 offers something few others can: a real connection between rider and machine. That's it for this episode of Relevant Radar TV. If you're as surprised and impressed by the GT550 Neo as we are, drop your thoughts in the comments below. Would you take it over the XSR700 or the Interceptor 650? Is this Suzuki's best retro yet? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep it locked right here on Relevant Radar, where the road meets the radar. Ride safe, ride free, and we'll catch you in the next one.